Imagine walking into a bar where one man rules through fear, his fists louder than his words. Now picture the silence that falls when a so-called victim reveals a truth so powerful it turns the predator into prey. This is the story of a modest woman, a violent biker, and a Marine Corps tattoo that froze an entire bar. Stay with me, because the lesson hidden here is one you'll never forget. The night was loud with clinking glasses and low conversations until a thunderous voice shook the walls. "Pay up, or I break bones!" the biker roared, slamming his fist against the counter. He wasn't just a customer. He was a bully. His leather vest hung loose over tattooed arms, his eyes bloodshot with rage. The bar dimly lit his scarred face as he turned toward the young woman behind the counter. She was modestly dressed, hair neatly tied back, shirt crisp and tucked into jeans. To everyone else, she looked like just another bartender trying to make a living. But tonight, she was about to reveal something no one expected. She trembled, but held her ground. "I already told you," she said firmly. "I don't owe you anything." Her voice was steady, even though her hands tightened on the tray, knuckles whitening. The bar went silent. Patrons shifted uncomfortably, eyes darting away. Nobody wanted to get caught in the storm. The biker sneered, stepping closer. "You think you can talk back to me? Around here, you pay respect, or you pay the price." His gang chuckled, pounding their fists on tables in support. The power dynamic was clear, or at least, it seemed that way. With a sudden move, the biker grabbed her collar and yanked her forward. Gasps filled the air. And then, rip! He tore her shirt open. The sound of fabric tearing echoed across the room, turning every head toward the scene. She froze, breath caught in her throat. The biker grinned, expecting fear, humiliation, submission. The crowd leaned forward, some in cruel curiosity, others in quiet horror. But then his grin faltered. His eyes landed on something he hadn't expected. Bold, etched into her skin like fire carved into stone, was the unmistakable emblem, the eagle, globe, and anchor of the United States Marine Corps. The entire bar went silent. The gang's laughter died instantly. Every smirk vanished as eyes locked on the tattoo that spoke louder than any shout. The biker's hand slipped away as if he'd touched fire. You're a Marine," he stuttered. She straightened her torn shirt, fury blazing in her eyes. "Once a Marine," she said, voice like steel. "Always a Marine." In that instant, the balance of power shattered. The same men who moments earlier cheered for intimidation now stared at the floor, ashamed. She stepped forward, chin high, voice cutting through the silence. "I've fought men twice your size. I've stared down worse than you in deserts you wouldn't survive a day in. And you think ripping my shirt makes you strong?" Not a sound stirred. Even the bartender froze, glass in hand. Then, from a corner booth, an older man rose. His movements were slow, deliberate. On his arm, the same tattoo faded with age, but carrying the same unshakable meaning. "Respect the Corps," his voice rang out. Two Marines, one young, one seasoned, an entire bar bearing witness. The biker's face drained of color. His gang shrank in their seats, stripped of bravado. For the first time, they looked small. The woman turned to the crowd, her voice steady. "This is what bullies do. They prey on who they think is weak. But weakness is just what they don't understand." Turning back to the biker, she locked eyes with him. "You don't scare me. You never will." And then came the sound that sealed his humiliation applause. One clap, then another, until the entire bar echoed with respect. Respect not for him, but for her. Red-faced and trembling, the biker muttered, "This isn't over." But his voice had lost its thunder. His own crew refused to meet his gaze. One by one, they slipped out of the bar, their swagger gone, leaving behind only shame. The woman pulled her shirt together, but did not cover the tattoo. She stood tall, her presence commanding more than any uniform ever could. The older Marine placed his hand over his heart and gave her a solemn nod. She returned it with a small smile, eyes shining with unshed tears. In that moment, she was more than a bartender, more than a woman targeted for humiliation. She was a Marine, a living embodiment of resilience, sacrifice, and unbreakable honor. Everyone in that bar would remember her. The lesson was crystal clear. True strength doesn't come from intimidation or fear. It comes from honor, from resilience, from the courage to stand tall, even when someone tries to tear you down. The biker? Forgotten. The Marine? Unforgettable. If this story moved you, don't let it stop here. Subscribe to Truth Untwists, where we bring you powerful stories that expose the truth behind strength, courage, and humanity. Like this video, share it with someone who needs a reminder that real power is never about fear. It's about honor. Because at Truth Untwists, we don't just tell stories, we reveal the truth hidden inside them.